Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. I got the crappy computer. That means it's time to talk about new stuff. Yeah, new fragrances have been announced. A whole bunch of new Tom Fords, a new Hugo Boss bottled, new Aventus. That can't be right. New Aventus. Yeah, Aventus. Everyone's favorite fragrance, which has not been played out to death. That's not a thing. That's not real. Most of this info I'm pulling from myfragranceofficial.com, also some from scentadvice.com, linked in the description. Let's get started by talking about that Hugo Boss. So this is a new Boss bottled, which kind of had a massive resurgence when they came out with bottled Elixir and then bottled Absolute. Also some of the limited editions like Pacific have been great. This one is a new bottled Beyond flanker called Bottled Beyond Eau de Toilette Intense. Basically like the new Myself, just slap Eau de Toilette Intense on the end, you're good to go. The write-up is fairly large. See if I can shrink this. Set the standard with Boss Bottled Beyond Eau de Toilette Intense, the brand's first floral leather fragrance for men, where softness meets strength. It's like a classic movie trope or something. Yeah, he's got a hard exterior, but underneath that he's got a heart of gold. In the past, he lost someone that was dear to him. I hope he doesn't lose you too. Oh yeah. Softness meets strength. Powerfully fresh and undeniably bold, it delivers long-lasting intensity, a boost of clean freshness fused with a sensual depth. Bright, blazing, beyond. This potent dual blend strikes with maximalist Orange Blossom Absolute like a sharp, unstoppable surge of light, balanced by warm, textured leather, full of carnal depth. So it's a dual blend, 2 freaking notes, and then they have the audacity after that to put maximalist Orange Blossom. Your friggin' note breakdown is 2 notes, bro. None of this is maximalist. And then the bottle does have, it's got that reflective silver kind of thing going on, which for whatever reason, every single house right now, that's what they're doing. Myself, Absolute, Mont Blanc Legend Elixir, Coach Platinum coming out with their new Parfum version, having the same kind of reflective deal. Ralph's Club, New York, not the new Parfum version, but the original version. And to an extent, Polo 67 Extreme. It's the new thing apparently. So yeah, note breakdown wise with this one, Orange Blossom Absolute, leather. And I know a lot of you out there are thinking what I'm thinking. We're thinking the same thing right now, you and me. We're thinking this. You're coming at me with the silver reflective bottle. You're coming at me with the Eau de Toilette Intense. You're coming at me with the Orange Blossom. This is Hugo Boss's version of Myself, or something in that overall wheelhouse. I feel like they probably are looking at Prada Paradigm selling bottles, Myself selling bottles, Polo 67 selling bottles, and they're like, we really need something like that, yeah. Because with the original Boss Bottled Beyond, they went with something that was more, ginger and leather, and it ended up coming out, yeah, sort of in the same wheelhouse as like PDM Castley. Not the same as that one, of course, but it's kind of like in the same ballpark. And so I feel like this is probably gonna be a similar kind of deal, just for the Myself type fragrances of the world. Not necessarily the same, not something where you spray it on and you're confused as to which is which, but one of those deals where you smell it and you go, okay, obviously it is inspired by that stuff over there. I think that's what this is probably gonna be. Obviously I'm still gonna buy it, and it could absolutely rip. I mean, it could technically come out and be better than all those, but that's what it looks like right now from where I'm sitting. So yeah, Boss Bottled Beyond Eau de Toilette Intense. Also, I just want to bring this up super quickly because it's kind of funny. A new Hawas. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Ah! Yeah, a new Hawas. But this one is called Glitz. It's for the ladies. So they came out with the 3 new ones for the guys. They didn't want to leave out the ladies, so they gave them Glitz. This one has top notes of bergamot, pear, and nut. Got him! I'm sorry. You could just probably put that like a different way. Pistachio, almond, cashew, peanut. But no, it's just straight up nut. It's good, it's good. I apologize. It is what it says. Middle notes of ambery, that's a good one, geranium, orange blossom, orris, and rose, and base notes of caramel, musk, powdery, sandalwood, and vanilla. So Rasasi, keeping it coming. Gonna have those Hawas until the end of time. Let's hit really quickly one of these Tom Fords, then we'll dive into the Creed and then circle back because there's, you know, more Tom Ford going on. There's a lot right here. So this next one is Ombre Leather Reserve. You gotta keep the Ombre Leather train moving, right? That's like one of their big hitters, one of their very popular releases. And to be fair, Ombre Leather and the flankers are some of the better, more wearable designer leather scents out there. The quality is high, the price is also high, but they're really well done typically. So this one is called Ombre Leather Reserve. And the note breakdown is a little bit different. So it's got silver juniper off the top and then black leather as well. Kind of interesting how they're doing that. Silver juniper, not just juniper. Black leather, not just leather. I'm here for it though. Better that than the 3-note stuff. In the mid, white moss accord and violet leaf absolute. And then in the base, sandalwood and pinion wood. Now, notice the name of this fragrance is Ombre Leather Reserve. You may say, oh yeah, Ombre Leather Reserve, what does that matter? You know, it's just a name. Well, I'll tell you, it's gonna be expensive, bro. You already knew that because it's Tom Ford, but when they slap Reserve on the end, what they actually mean is open up your wallet and bend over. I would imagine this is gonna be the priciest of the bunch, even more so than Ombre Leather Parfum, which if you're keeping score, Ombre Leather Parfum for a 100 ml size bottle, $300. Now I can make a guesstimation that because the name has Reserve in it, that it's probably gonna be priced like the Parfum. Now because they did come out with Black Orchid Reserve, and that's priced the same as Black Orchid Parfum. So you may be thinking, well, how expensive is that probably gonna be? Well, $300. Yeah, for the 100 ml size, so not very affordable. Yeah. That's pretty rough. Obviously just a guess based off of the notes here, but with the pinion wood added in, the silver juniper, and the sandalwood as well, it would look like they're taking the typical ombre leather styling, the leather and the violet leaf, and they're mixing that with more of a woody undertone or possibly overtone with an aromatic vibe as well from the juniper and the pinion wood, which is sort of a piney type of scent profile. I would also expect it to have a good amount of density, quite strong and powerful because that's part of the selling point of the whole $300 reserve kind of thing that they have going on right now. But that's the new Ombre Leather, in case you're a huge fan of that line by Tom Ford. Let's talk Creed. So Creed Aventus. If you know fragrances at all, you know that. It seems like the first niche fragrance that anybody finds out about, and it's one of the first ones that every single person who's starting to get into fragrances has to smell. Like it's just the rules. It carries that reputation, right? It's Aventus, and to be fair, you really should know how Aventus smells because once you figure it out, you're like, oh, there are dozens, if not hundreds of different scents out there that are kind of riffing on that. Some more obviously than others. And then there's the other thing that you find out about Aventus very early on, batch variations. Aventus, more than any other fragrance that has ever been made in human history, is really well known for having variations in terms of how it smells from batch to batch. Some of those changes, some of those tweaks being very large and extremely noticeable to people who don't even really know fragrance. You could have them smell them side by side and they'd be like, oh yeah, this one has way more pineapple. This one over here is a smoke bomb. And then other batches, much more closely together. But still, it's made a name for itself for that alone, on top of being crazy popular and expensive and yeah, being like the fragrance that took over niche fragrances for men forever. And really quickly, before we dig into this, I saw actually, as I'm filming this today, that Olivier Creed passed away. So F's in the chat for Olivier Creed. I know a lot of people are still kind of iffy on the ghost perfumer aspect of the House of Creed, but he, along with the perfumers that were making those fragrances over the years, put out some stuff that is just crazy. Like some of the biggest fragrances of all time, like some really top-notch stuff. And you can argue about, you know, who was given credit, who was not given enough, who was given too much. But fact of the matter is, Creed has released some of the sickest fragrances of all time. Like, some of those I absolutely still love to this day, regardless of how freaking expensive they are. And now a new wrinkle, Creed Aventus 2026. Not too much of a write-up here, it just says, Creed Aventus is now back in a brand new attire, featuring different bottle sizes and revamped aesthetics. This relaunch provides a fresh perspective to the popular scent, allowing fans new options that cater to their needs. They're looking out for you. Thank you, Creed. So yeah, in terms of sizing for this new 2026 Aventus, 30 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil, 240 mil, 490 mil, 980 mil. You know, for when you need that just under 1 liter of Aventus for the cool price of $1,900. Yeah. To be fair though, buying in bulk, that is a way better deal. Because 100 mils is $510, so I mean, hey, let's go. I'm gonna buy 980 milliliters of Aventus. Oh, imagine you get lucky, you buy 980 milliliters of Aventus. You buy it today, and then somehow 10, 15 years in the future, that one batch that you bought for 1,900 bucks turns out to be the holy grail batch. Somehow. Travel into the future. Now you can sell 10 milliliters of that same fragrance for $250. Profit. Nice.
This is business.
This is my sweat.
I know, but I did business.
Shut up.
Now the note breakdown appears to be the same. Bergamot, lemon, black currant off the top, pineapple, pink pepper, jasmine in the mid, verge, patchouli, musk in the base. I think it is simplified from what it was when, you know, it first launched, but that's what it shows right now on Creed's website, which for, you know, pretty much everybody, when you think of Aventus, that's what you think of right there. They also have changed a little bit the look of the bottle. So it's got like a new kind of styling to it slightly on the front, which I actually don't like as much. I think it looks worse, but you know, whatever. And the real reason to kind of key in on this is the Aventus thing, where they're not gonna tell you that this has changed or that has changed or this hasn't changed. When it comes to Creed fragrances and Aventus in particular, they always, you know, say, oh, it's millesime. These are millesime fragrances. And so you're gonna have variations potentially, but they never really come out and tell you. And when you have something like this going on, a 2026 kind of soft relaunch of their biggest fragrance, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if, even if it's just menthol, like all menthol, that you get a new bottle in and spray it and you go, it's different. So now at this point, I'm kind of thinking about buying, you know, this new relaunch and bumping it up against, I've got a few different bottles, a few, and kind of seeing if there are changes, if there are, what they are, how it appears to me, and how it smells and everything. But I know a lot of you out there are gonna be kind of like keying in on this, ear to the ground, to see if there's much change once people start to get these in hand. And at the same time, they did a relaunch of Aventus Cologne. So there's Aventus Cologne 2026 as well. Same thing pretty much. It's reintroduced with a fresh presentation, now available in myriad bottle sizes and revamped bottle shapes. The relaunch brings a new look to the prized fragrance, giving enthusiasts various ways to enjoy the scent in a format that suits their preferences. Same thing, 30 mil, 50 mil, 100 mil, 240, 290. Is that right? 240, 290, and 980. I think it's supposed to be 240, 490. I think that's a little typo on iFragrance Official. Oh no, it says 240, 500, 1000 on Creed's website, whatever. So yeah, essentially this is just bringing the presentation look in line with Absolute Aventus, centering everything instead of having it a little off kilter, which again, I think actually looks better to the eye, at least for me. So it's just kind of this continuation that Creed has been doing recently of introducing some new things, revamping things, and who knows what's changing behind the scenes. But yeah, there we go. Let's hit super quickly these Tom Fords and then wrap it up. First, Tom Ford Tobacco Chocolat. Now, I want it. I love Tom Ford tobacco fragrances, including the somewhat funky ones. Tobacco oud, one of the best things I've ever smelled. I don't care what you say. So this one is a forbidden and refined encounter where the depth of tobacco seduces the velvety opulence of dark chocolate, creating an intense, warm, almost hypnotic harmony. There's a subtle and irresistible moment when desire takes shape. And Tobacco Chocolat is born precisely there. At the point where pleasure becomes a sensory experience, it's a fragrance that doesn't just make itself felt, it makes itself remembered. Its character is decisive, magnetic, and enveloping. So this one has orange cocoa smoke, tobacco, Peru balsam, dark chocolate, patchouli, and ambrofix. It'll be stupidly expensive, but I bet it smells awesome. I want it, and I want it now. The other fragrance is Tobacco Vanille Parfum. Tobacco leaf, whiskey, and oak wood being the notes. This one says that it presents itself in an even more intense guise compared to the original, a high concentration that amplifies every nuance until it becomes pure emotion. Where the iconic meets the extreme, a fragrance is born that does more than seduce, it dominates. So it's like a BDSM fragrance. It's not just a return, it's an evolution that redefines the very concept of luxury. It's the new essence of desire. The tobacco leaf reveals itself deeper, more velvety, enveloping the senses with a sophisticated warmth. The whiskey accord adds an elegant, decisive amber touch, like a ritual reserved for a select few. Oakwood structures the composition with a noble and persistent presence, leaving an intense and memorable trail. This parfum version of Tobacco Vanille is designed for those seeking something rarer, bolder, and way more freaking expensive. Oh no, it says distinctive. It doesn't follow the rules, it rewrites them with an olfactory signature that lingers. So I need this as well. I need this very, very badly. But as I was mentioning just a moment ago, tobacco oud. Oud, tobacco, tobacco oud. Bring it back. Bring it back. And hit us with the flanker at the same time. Just go completely buck wild and give us something crazy. Any Tom Ford tobacco fragrance, I'm gonna buy, but it's gonna put a hurting on me. I can already see like it's gonna be $1,000+ for those two combined, I mean. So there you go, now you're up to date on some of the fragrances coming our way. Let me know if you think the Aventus change is gonna be big, small, indifferent, nothing at all. Honestly, it's hard to keep track. Like you could buy 2 bottles at the same time and get 2 different batches that have 2 different scent profiles to an extent. So, I mean, I wanna thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.